Everyone thinks franchising is super expensive. That's what I always thought. The truth is there's a lot of really great franchises that aren't crazy expensive. In this video here, I'm going to break down the top 5 franchises that you could buy into for less than $50,000 that have a lot of profitable, happy franchisees. And if I was starting from scratch today, these are the franchises I would buy into. Let's go. This one's an interesting franchise I recently came across called Chefs for Seniors. Now, this is one of the most simplest services you could think of. It's literally in the name. It is a private chef service for seniors. Now, the baby boomer generation is getting old. There's tons of baby boomers out there who need help in a variety of different things. Most people think that means in-home health care. But what that also means is someone to come in, cook for these elderly population. I know for myself, I would happily order something like this for my mother so she doesn't have to cook, who's getting, to the age of 70 and beyond. So what these people do is they would go buy groceries, lift the heavy groceries, take it home, and spend 2 to 4 hours per week cooking and meal prepping for seniors. Simple enough. Now, here's some numbers I could find. Every chef typically handles around 15 customers. The revenue per customers can be between $150 to $400 per week, depending on how long they actually have to stay. The customer pays for all the groceries as well, so it's really just the labor cost that you're paying for. And the beauty is this is a recurring revenue business model because people eat 3 times a day. You're going to need to buy supplies all the time. You're going to need to have someone cook for you all the time. I know from experience from having friends who have private chefs that once you have one, you're addicted to it. Never having to cook again, that's incredible. This is a necessary service for a lot of seniors, and that's why I think this is a killer business opportunity. What they charge as an initial fee is around $20,000 for cash needed, on top of a few other fees, but this is an industry which I like. The next one up, which I love, is called Made This franchise. Now, full disclosure, I'm completely biased here because this is actually my franchise business. But I just love the cleaning industry. I started my own location 12 years ago. And what I realized is a lot of these old school cleaning companies would have expensive wraps, they'd have vehicles, they'd have offices. And the truth is, in this day and age, you don't need any of that. So what Made This is a fully tech-forward remote cleaning business model. We service Airbnbs, we service regular residential homes, we even service some commercial light as well. The beauty of the cleaning industry and why I like it so much is that things get dirty all the time. I don't really care about tariffs. I don't care about AI because people need cleanings and it's a repeatable service. People need it all the time. For commercial and Airbnb, it's a need to have. You actually need to get your place cleaned. So it's a very resilient business model. Now, we currently have around 40 territories and more people are buying more and more territories because it is easily scalable. That's the beauty of the model. It's a service area location. It's not just at one specific place. The cleaners go straight from their home to the job site, which means you don't need to have all this crazy expensive overhead. The initial fee to get into a Made This franchise location right now is $42,500 for the initial fee. The next franchise system I like is called Augusta Lawn Care. Now, I actually first found out about this because the founder, his name is Mike Andes, I think Andes, I don't really know, puts out fantastic content online. I started following him and really like what he's putting out. This made me dive into what is a business model, why is lawn care a good industry, and I really liked what I saw. Lawn care is similar to house cleaning in the way that this is oftentimes a need to have service. Many middle class and above types of homes want their lawn done. They're not just going to let it go and not have anyone do it. People don't want to do it themselves, so they're obviously going to hire a lawn care service. So Augusta deals with both residential but also commercial lawn care, and typically, like cleaning, things grow and get dirty all the time. You're going to need to trim plants, trim bushes, whatever. This is a recurring revenue business model that's oftentimes recession resistant, and that's why I really like it. From what I found, Augusta has grown pretty rapidly. They started in 2019. They have over 100 locations right now. To get in, their initial fee ranges between $25 to $35, with all-in costs being between $50 to $150, just depending on how much equipment and supplies you actually get. The next industry of franchising I really like is actually the locksmith industry. Now, we have a franchisee named David. He runs our first location of Made This Denver. David used to own multiple locksmith businesses. I think he had one flagship one and made 19 different acquisitions in it. He explained the model to me and why he likes it a lot, and he also explained some downsides to me. Generally, I like this industry because this is a need to have service. Pretend it's 2 a.m. and you're locked out and you need to get into your home. It's freaking cold outside. Are you going to be like, well, I don't want to pay $50 extra for that locksmith. Let me just wait till the morning. Probably not. You need to get the place unlocked ASAP. So this is an absolute need to have service for most industries or for most people. That's why locksmithing is great. Now there's a few different key franchises which service this industry. I'm not going to hone in on any specific ones because I'm not sure which ones are the best ones or not. I just know I like this industry. Some of them to think about would be Mr. Reiki. Their initial fee is around $34,000. Popalock, from the reports I found, it's around $50,000. And Noble Locksmith around $75,000. I'm sure there's a lot more which exist, but these are the ones I kind of found out. Some quick stats for you to think about for the locksmith industry. So how it works, emergency lockouts could be between $150 to $300 per call. And think about how long it takes for a locksmith to come and jiggle stuff. It doesn't really take that long, right? So the margins can be pretty good. Of course, you're paying a premium for the locksmiths, but the margins can be pretty good for this type of service. Key duplication and programming, you could do between $75 to $200 per job. This is some information I found online. Commercial contracts with property managers, they need locks changed between tenants. They just want the ease of service. Typically, you can get 5 to 8 service calls per day if you market well as well. So you can see how the revenue could stack up. The downside is staffing locksmith people and labor might be a little bit hard. So if you're someone who's like a solo business owner, you're fine doing this yourself, you just want some side income coming in, or you want to quit your job and make money fast, I think you could be a locksmith yourself, figure out how to do this, get the proper licensing you need, and have a great one-off business model yourself. It is also very possible to scale and add more locksmith, but I think finding the labor would be the difficult part about this model. Regardless, I like it because again, it's a boring old school need to have service, and I love those industries. This next franchise, which I really like, which I think is set to explode in 2026, is called Dryer Vent Superheroes. Now, many of these brands, when I research them, I end up finding about the founder, seeing if I like them or not, seeing how smart they are, and I start doing a deep dive into the brand. I actually really love the founder of this one. It's a guy named Thomas Scott. I met him recently and I thought he was super sharp. So I started to deep dive into the brand and understand what Dryer Vent Superheroes is doing. And I realized I really like this niche. So dryer vent business in general is pretty much going to someone's home and clearing out the dryer vent. So if you have the hookups for laundry and dryer, you need to clear out the dryer vent every now and then, probably once a year at least, in order to get it ready and make sure it's not a fire hazard. This is a common thing in just regular home maintenance. An average ticket for a dryer vent cleanup is probably $300 to $350 for a dryer vent cleanup. The real value in this business though, because if you think about it, that's not too often, is the upsells, and that's the key for this business. Once you're actually in someone's home, you can upsell someone not just in dryer vent cleaning, but dryer vent repair, rerouting, for code and airflow. Exterior vent caps is what you could help adjust as well. Lint traps and safety kits, annual maintenance plan. There's so many things to upsell once you actually get into someone's home. Many people don't think this is a service that you really need as well, but the truth is many homeowners understand they need this, and there's not a crazy amount of people marketing well. The competitive landscape isn't great for dryer vent cleanup companies. That's why I think this industry is posed for pretty fast growth, and I really like it. Now, Dryer Vent Superheroes, from what I understand, their initial fee is $39,000 and they have some required marketing spend. But this is, again, one of those boring old school industries that's relatively cheap to get into, which I like. Now, these 5 franchise models I went over show you that you don't need to spend multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to get into a franchise system. As long as you pick the right system and the right model, you could have exponential growth for a fraction of the cost of a normal expensive franchise model. Now, if you're interested in having a fully remote business, if you're interested in copying the playbook of someone who's already done this before, if you're interested in getting into an industry which is more recession resistant and has high growth, check out Made This Franchise. That was the second one I mentioned on here. That is, again, the franchise model I run that I talk about all the time. I've been running this model for 12 years. We have 40 plus locations who are running the same exact model. So check out madethisfranchise.com for more information.